WisconsinEye's coverage of Campaign 2014 is being brought to you by the Wisconsin Hospital Association. For over 90 years, a valued voice supporting Wisconsin hospitals in communities like yours.
WisconsinEye coverage of the 2014 elections continues with an interview with Dave Leeper of Madison. He's a Madison attorney. He's also a Democratic candidate for state treasurer. Mr. Leeper, welcome to WisconsinEye.
Thank you, Steve. I'm very glad to be here.
Give us a short version of your background and qualifications, please.
Well, Steve, I'm 64 years old, so there's really no short version. But I can tell you a few things that I think are important. I ran for district attorney in Greene County, 1976, with Jimmy Carter. I was elected the first Democrat elected to any office in Greene County that year. I beat the Republican district attorney. I enjoyed that campaign. That sort of got me started and excited about campaigning and about reaching out and serving the public. Since then, I became a legal services attorney. I helped to start the Green, Rock, and Walworth portion of Legal Action of Wisconsin. And we provided legal services to low-income people in those counties. I then went to seminary, and I got a Master's of Divinity. I became a local pastor in the United Methodist Church, served 2 congregations. I'm not sure, I think I was family court commissioner in Greene County before that happened. I'm not sure, but I have gone back and forth between law and ministry, and I consider both to be an integral part of who I am and what I do. I spent 2 years in mission work with the Mennonite Central Committee in Mozambique, just after the Civil War, 1995 to 97. I worked on conflict resolution and peace building in that war-torn country. I also have worked as a coordinator and funder of student clinics in Ukraine with the American Bar Association. And then I stayed on to teach law school with the Civic Education Project. And I taught conflict resolution, negotiation skills for lawyers in 2 law schools in Kiev.
And now you're a practicing Madison attorney.
I'm a practicing Madison attorney.
You also, you're the stepbrother of State Senator Mark Miller.
Yeah.
And the son of former Democratic Representative Midge Miller, who's a legend in the Capitol.
That's right.
I understand.
That's right.
When I look up the Office of Treasurer, I think it has only 4 or 5 employees. And you said in your Democratic Party speech that this is it's an office that running for an office very few people know or care about.
That's true.
Why are you running for an office that there's talk of abolishing it, Mr. Leeper?
Well, you're right. It does seem strange, but I have been working for justice issues for 4 decades, maybe 5. And I am being stymied, and many people I know are being stymied by billionaires who buy our elections and write our laws through ALEC. They rewrite the laws we have on mining. They take away local control. And as I look at that situation and come up with my analysis is, follow the money. Why is there so much money destroying the issues that I care about? The simple answer is, it's all being raised to the top and taken away to Wall Street. And that's what I believe I can stop as Wisconsin State Treasurer. That's my motivation.
State Treasurer doesn't write laws. Given your passion to change some of these laws that you feel the GOP has enacted unfairly, why aren't you running for the State Senate or the State Assembly or for Congress, Mr. Leeper?
The State Treasurer's position focuses this energy on how we can protect and manage our money in Wisconsin. That's the purpose of the State Treasurer, and I feel confident that that's the right place to go. In fact, just last night, I was working on a letter to all legislative candidates in which I am offering my support and discussion on the crucial financial issues facing our state. offering my help and support in their campaigns. I know I have to work with the state legislature. I know I have to work with the governor. But the way I look at it is, a state legislator has 100, maybe 200 important issues that they're working on. As state treasurer, I have one issue. Let's get control of our money and let's invest it in Wisconsin and make a difference here. I'm going to work with Mary Burke as our governor and with all our legislators to make that happen.
You've offered a pretty intriguing idea, a State of Wisconsin bank, and I want to give you enough minutes to explain that. Now, one of these exists in North Dakota, but I've got your speech in front of me to the convention, but why don't you tell us why you're so passionate that the state of Wisconsin should create its own bank, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that question, because creating the Bank of Wisconsin is at the heart of my campaign. And we can look to the model of North Dakota. That's the only state in the country right now that has a state bank. That bank was created in 1919. And we might say, why was it created in 1919? It was created as part of a populist revolution in which the farmers of North Dakota, primarily farmers, were being cheated by Wall Street banks and cheated by Minneapolis elevators. They were taking all the profits of their work. I think that's very similar to what's happening to us today. In North Dakota, they created two institutions, a state elevator and a state bank, to protect them from the grain elevators in Minneapolis and St. Paul and the banks in Wall Street. Both of those institutions are still functioning 100 years later. We can do this in Wisconsin. One example is banks make money. They make lots of money. The Bank of North Dakota contributed $300 million to the state budget in the last 10 years. That's $300 million coming into a small state, 600,000 people. Imagine what we could do in Wisconsin if we controlled our own money. That money, those profits from banking, go to the state to do whatever we want, rather than to the banks on Wall Street.
Now, in your speech, you said North Dakota residents, through their bank, the opportunity to consolidate all their student loans, and this Bank of North Dakota, and you advocate a Bank of Wisconsin, this would make loans to small businesses, farmers, be in direct competition with our current for-profit banking system. Does your idea have a chance of getting through a Senate and a state Senate and Assembly if it continues to be controlled by Republicans, Mr. Leeper?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Republicans will see this as a positive issue for the state or not. I fully intend to work with them. But let me clarify that, no, I am not talking about creating a state bank that is in competition with the commercial banks or the credit unions. We need commercial banks. We need credit unions. Those are the engines of credit that make our state work. What I want to compete with is the big investment banks that handle most of the bonding to the Wisconsin, to our school districts, to our municipalities. That's where the money is being taken out of the state. Okay. My grandfather was chairman of the board of a bank that served his local community. I have nothing against the banks. I have something against the reckless investment banks that globalize capital and pick and choose which places they will destroy. They can destroy Michigan, they can destroy Wisconsin, and we can stop them if we can control our money.
That's why you said in your Democratic Party convention speech, the game is rigged, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely, the game is rigged.
So you would want a state of Wisconsin bank to underwrite the bonds issued by our state government and local governments, and so they wouldn't have to go to the Wall Street bankers, sir?
That's right. That's where we would move in time.
Okay.
I have always asked for us to explore the creation of a state bank. We need to make it fit Wisconsin. We need to make it fit our circumstances. But the basic facts are simple. The profit of our working people and the profit of our businesses and the tax income of our municipalities is being sucked up by the investment banks in Wall Street. we can reverse that.
Okay. I want to give you a chance to highlight any other issues in your campaign, sir.
Well, one of the big issues will be to protect and preserve the office of state treasurer.
Okay.
It's a constitutional office. It was specifically chosen to be an elected office back in 1848. It needs to be protected. We need a watchdog of our money. If we look at our money, at what's happening to it, we can see putting all of these guardianship roles in the governor's office simply isn't a good idea.
What's left of the office, though? Over the years, policy decisions have been made stripping the state treasurer's office of some of its major function. What's left of it, sir?
Well, one really important thing that's left is a position on the board of the Public Lands Commission. That's something that's constitutionally required. And the Public Lands Commission is a perfect example of a well-run state agency that handles $1 billion budget. $1 billion they have in assets. And they make loans to all the different school districts, to the libraries, to municipalities. They make loans to buy a new fire truck, to put in a sewage plant. They already do exactly what we can do more of if we create a Bank of Wisconsin. The function of the Bank of Wisconsin will grow out of the experience of the Public Lands Commission.
And then finally, I want to give you a chance, if you choose, to highlight any differences between you and your primary challenger, opponent.
Sure. Dave Sartori and I have met many times as we talk to the different congressional districts and county parties. We're friends, we enjoy and appreciate each other. We're working cooperatively. You know, we both have ideas for what can make the treasurer's office better. We both want to restore it to a watchdog position in state government. So I have nothing that I'm fighting with Dave Sartori about. Okay. I hope he comes out and supports a state bank. I would be really happy to welcome him into that. In fact, I will welcome the Republican candidate to support a state bank. Okay. The more people we can get behind this, the faster it's going to happen and the faster we will get control of our own resources.
Well, then, in summary, then, you're running for state treasurer because it's one of our constitutional offices and you want it to be a watchdog, correct, Mr. Leeper?
I want it to be a watchdog, and I want it to create an engine of credit to fund the causes that we think are important in this state. Let me give one more example.
Please.
Wisconsin has the distinction of being one of the states that most people are leaving. It doesn't have to be that way. North Dakota is allowing consolidation of student loans for any of their students at 1.75% interest. Now, my daughter is paying 6.8% interest. Mm-hmm. Most students are. If Wisconsin can offer a consolidation of loans for residents who come to our state at 1.75, you know, we'll bring people to our state. We'll bring the young people that we need. We'll create the kind of state that our children will want to live in. That's my goal.
Thank you. Dave Leeper of Madison is a Democratic candidate for state treasurer. The primary is August 12th. Mr. Leeper, thanks for coming to WisconsinEye to talk about your campaign.
Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciated it.
Thank you, sir.